Open houses.
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
For stress-free selling, click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
News time is 8 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded local newscast brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, your Silverado headquarters. And the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. The holiday break season is upon us, and a Clinton nonprofit is reminding of the child care options they have for parents who have to work while kids are out of school. For Thanksgiving, Clinton schools are out of class starting Wednesday on the WHOW Morning Show Monday. Rennie Kluver, executive director of the Clinton Y, told Regional Radio they will have Y Zone Extreme Wednesday and Friday for parents.
Our schedule for Y Zone Extremes, which is when we have Y Zone on days when school is out, and so they're off on Wednesday, November, that would be the 22nd, and so we have Y Zone Extreme at the Y, and it starts at 7 o'clock, goes till 6 o'clock at night. They can come to the Y, they drop off, can bring swim apparel, because there is planning to swim that afternoon, like 1 o'clock.
All right.
And they need to bring a mid-morning snack. We do provide a afternoon snack, and then they need to pack a lunch, refillable water bottle if they've got it, just so that they can always have something to drink, and then a extra change of clothes is not a bad idea, just because we're running around. Maybe if it's nice out, they may take them to the park, and so just to have it as a safe bet. Pack it in a backpack and.
With the Christmas break up next, Kluver indicates they'll have Y Zone Extreme days throughout the holiday for students on break.
And then we have Christmas break, too, that we have Y Zone. I do have those dates, too. So there's early dismissal on December 19th. That Y Zone will continue to be after school at the schools. So let's say it's a 1:30 dismissal. It's no different than a typical dismissal day that's early. They'll just stay at the school for Y Zone. And then we have Y Zone Extreme the 20th through the 22nd, and then we're off on the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. And then we run Extreme again on the 27th through the 29th, and then again January 2nd and the 3rd.
Kluver emphasizes you do not have to be a Y member to send your child to Y Zone Extreme, but you do need to get them signed up.
No, I'm glad you brought that up. So, yeah, there is no actual membership. You don't have to have a membership to send your child to Y Zone or Y Zone Extreme. We do just need you to be registered. So if you haven't registered for Y Zone, you would need to register them for that if you wanted to send them to Y Zone Extreme. Linda has some other activities planned. It will revolve around how many we have. And so we won't know that until mid-morning. They'll do some things in the community room. They've got the gym that they'll be able to use and do some fun games. The spirit room, they usually get the mats out and run around in there. And so plenty of things to keep them active. And then so that's the one day at Y Zone.
Visit ClintonCOMMYMCA.org for more information on Y Zone Extreme. You can also call the Y at 217-935-8307 or stop in at 417 South Alexander Street in Clinton. Wednesday is the 60th anniversary of the assassination of U.S. President John F. Kennedy. WHOW will present a look back at the events of the day 60 years ago in a news special to air at around 9:40 a.m. Wednesday morning called The End of Camelot, the Assassination of John F. Kennedy. The program features a lot of the live coverage from the day as well as the funeral when the country said its final farewell to the slain president November 25th. Again, tune in Wednesday morning at around 9:40 on all of WHOW's platforms, AM, FM, and online for our news special entitled The End of Camelot, the Assassination of John F. Kennedy. A University of Illinois Extension nutrition educator has some tips for those planning to do the food preparation this holiday season. Caitlin Mellendorf is a nutrition educator at the U of I Extension in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon counties. She encourages, if you're planning for a potluck-style gathering, encourage as many slow cooker offerings as possible to help keep those foods at safe temperatures throughout your gathering.
We want to also look at the way that they're going to be held for your mealtime. So if you're going to do a potluck event where everybody's bringing food, or you are the person doing all the dishes and serving that food, are you trying to keep all of that food hot, or is everybody eating together at the same time, at the same table? So depending on what you want to do can change how you present that food. So if you are doing a potluck style event where people are bringing lots of dishes, invite them to bring foods in slow cookers so that you can leave it on a warm setting or even a low setting, or have oven space available for you so that you can have maybe a row of rolls in there and green bean casserole and some different items that can stay hot while everybody's coming in at different times. Some people might be coming in, an hour before. Some people are coming in, just a couple minutes before mealtime. But if you are a family that's doing just one sit-down meal and everybody's eating the same foods, you may not have to worry so much about how you're going to hold that food hot, because everybody's going to eat at the same time. There's only one meal being prepared. So in that case, you can just use any of your normal kitchen equipment. You can pull it out of the oven or out of your slow cooker. And since everybody's eating together, you don't have to worry so much about how you hold that equipment.
One of the most important parts of Thanksgiving food preparation is making sure the festive bird is prepared to the correct temperatures. Mellendorf also says to make sure the turkey is appropriately thawed.
Final cooking temperature of your turkey, 165. And then depending on how you want to serve that, think about, do you have equipment to hold food hot? If your meal is going to be kind of a mishmash of people bringing in different dishes at different times, how do you keep that food hot, or alternately cold enough? So make sure you have refrigerator space, or even if you've got, I think in the Midwest we're pretty well known for our garage refrigerators and freezers, so we can always stick some extra things in there to keep foods cold if someone's bringing a salad or a side dish that is going to be cold. So we'll start there. And then the other thing is appropriately thawing your turkey. How in the heck do you do that? So probably your safest bet is going to be in your refrigerator if you have space. If you don't have space, there are ways to thaw your turkey outside of your refrigerator. And what that involves is putting that turkey in a large basin of cool water. So we're not looking at hot water, just cool water out of your tap. And you're going to change that water every 30 minutes, which is going to be a pain in the butt if you've got a huge turkey that requires multiple hours of doing this. So you may want to set some alarms throughout the day. You're changing that water out every 30 minutes. That's going to make sure that all parts of that bird are thawing safely and you're not getting hot and cold spots. You're changing out that water on the regular.
However, you plan to prepare your turkey, Mellendorf encourages keeping your hands washed as you transition from one dish to the next. Additionally, keep your food prep surfaces clean and those utensils clean as well.
Once it's thawed, you can go into the cooking portion of that, whatever you're planning to do. I know we talked off air before about, do you want to fry your turkey? Are you going to use a slow cooker or a roaster or your oven? So making sure that once you've got that, pat it dry, add your seasonings if you're going to stuff it, or add just other types of like non-traditional stuffing. So maybe like a slice of lemon or some herbs and garlic in there. And also thinking about the spread of germs across your kitchen, working with this raw meat. So washing your hands regularly anytime you want to change a task. So if you are working on the bird and then you're going to start working on sweet potatoes and mac and cheese and stuffing, making sure you're washing your hands regularly every time you change a task. Double check if there's any turkey drippings that are trying to splash their way onto your different countertops or handles, that you are, again, washing those surfaces down if the juices do splash everywhere, and then using separate cutting boards and knives and things that we've talked about before on the show.
Extension's Turkey for the Holidays webpage has been updated. Mellendorf encourages visiting it for tips on things like choosing a turkey, how to safely thaw and prepare your bird. There are also things for kids to do as well. Again, that's extension.illinois.edu/turkey. Most business owners are hyper-focused on growing their business and legacy. They especially have a lot to juggle to try and keep things afloat and hopefully even grow. That's why Social Security is reminding, don't forget about those retirement benefits through Social Security. During working years, small business owners can often take advantage of legitimate ways to keep their taxable income down. While everybody can understand the advantages of that approach, don't lose track of the impact that will have on your future Social Security benefits. Jack Myers with Social Security explains benefits are based on the taxes you've paid in.
Yeah, well, Seth, I think it's important that we take a minute and just maybe call some attention to Social Security and the importance that it has as a part of an overall part of a retirement plan, and especially for business owners, because if you work for somebody else, it's just kind of automatic, right? I mean, you don't really have a say in the matter. You get a paycheck, your Social Security taxes are withheld from it. It just happens. You don't really have to do anything for it. But if you own a business, it's a little bit different. And let me kind of illustrate what I mean by that. So, most business owners are hyper-focused on growing their business and legacy and, trying to wear all kinds of different hats, especially small businesses. A lot of times you are whatever needs to be done that day. You're your HR department, you are your engineer, whatever the case may be, you're doing it all. But I think it's important that you remember retirement as well, because at some point, everybody has to slow down. And hopefully the business has built enough value that it can sustain you in retirement. But if that doesn't work out that way, what will you have? So you got to think about that sort of thing. And
through the years, Myers has seen many small business owners get to their retirement years without the safety net of a pension and relatively low Social Security benefits. Worse yet, what if tragedy strikes and your survivors are left without much Social Security?
And here's where I'm getting at, that it's a little different for small business owners. Because when you own your own business, there are a lot of legitimate legal ways to keep your taxable income down. And while everybody can understand the advantages of that approach, don't lose track of the impact that will have on your future Social Security benefits. Because the net earnings, especially if you're a sole proprietorship, the net earnings that you report on your tax return are what you pay Social Security taxes on, and they're what your future Social Security benefits will be based on. So if they're always low, your Social Security benefit is going to be low as well. Mm-hmm. So you've just got to think about that, because I've talked to many small business owners through the years who have gotten to that retirement point and they're disappointed in what they have coming back to them from Social Security. So just think about that.
Take a look at estimates of what you will receive from Social Security if you become disabled or when you retire, and find out what your survivors would be eligible for if something happened to you. Myers says if being a business owner has kept your taxable income down, just be aware of the impact that will have and plan accordingly.
Think about what would happen to your family if you passed away. If tragedy strikes and you perish, what are they going to be eligible for? That's going to be based on the Social Security taxes you've been paying in. What if you become disabled and you can't work anymore? That disability benefit is going to be based on the Social Security taxes you pay in. So take a look at the account, see what you would qualify for in those circumstances, see what your family members would qualify for, but just think about it. You may decide that, hey, I've got this covered. I'm going to take my legitimate tax write-offs. That's fine. I'm not suggesting that you have to do it otherwise, a different way. But I just want to make sure that people are thinking about it, because for small business owners, as I already mentioned, it is a little bit different. You're kind of on your own on this. So you want to make sure that when you get to the retirement years, you've got something in place that you can get by on, I guess is the key. So
you can view all of that and more through the My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security has resources that might help as well at ssa.gov/prepare/plan-retirement, and at the publication if you are self-employed, which is also available at ssa.gov/pubs. Wolf Carbon Solutions, the company proposing a carbon dioxide pipeline to run from Cedar Rapids, Iowa to an existing sequestration reservoir at the Archer Daniels Midland plant in Decatur, has voluntarily submitted a motion to withdraw its current application with the Illinois Commerce Commission. The announcement was made by Wolf on Monday. In its statement, Wolf did state it intends to update and refile an application with the ICC early next year. Wolf added the withdrawal doesn't impact its commitment to protect its stakeholders, saying they've received significant support from a host of labor, business leaders, landowners, and local officials that see economic and environmental benefits from the project. News time is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. Plenty more to get to coming your way on the WHOW Morning Show.
Looking for Chevrolet inventory? This is Scott Baum from Baum Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. We have the all-new Chevrolet Trax, Blazer, and Trailblazers coming. Plus, several Chevrolet Equinoxes and Traverses are here. This month, take advantage of extra $1,000 trade-in assistance on your trade. There's always a need for quality trades here at Baum's. BaumChevyBuick.com. Right from the start.
News time 24 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. Again, I'm Seth Lawrence with you folks today for this expanded local newscast. It was another dry week in Illinois as harvest is wrapped up. State crop statistician Mark Schleusner says there were around 4 days suitable for any field work left as temperatures were above normal for the week ending Sunday, November 19th.
Warm and dry weather continued across the Prairie State last week. Temperatures averaged 47 degrees, and that was 4.7 degrees above normal for this time of year. Rainfall averaged only 2/100ths of an inch across the state, and that was almost 7/10ths of an inch below normal. There were 6.9 days suitable for fieldwork in Illinois, and topsoil moisture declined to 11% very short, 38 short, 50% adequate, and 1% surplus.
90% of winter wheat crop has emerged, and Schleusner points out 0% of acres are reported as very poor.
For the winter wheat crop, 90% of acres have emerged. That is up 5% from the previous week. And it compares to 78% 1 year ago and 83% normally. The condition of the Illinois wheat crop improved and was rated 3% poor, 15 fair, 64 good, and 18% excellent, with 0% of winter wheat acres rated as very poor.
Schleusner reminds to be on the lookout for surveys coming producers' way.
And because we are nearing the end of November, the annual crop production and grain stock surveys will be mailed to producers shortly, along with the quarterly hog and pig survey and the commercial elevator grain stock survey.
Next week's crop report is the final weekly report of the season. As holiday travel picks up later this week, weather in the state should be pretty good. Meteorologist Eric Snodgrass says rain this week in parts of the state was much needed, but by Wednesday and Thursday, clear skies shouldn't make for any travel trouble.
Pretty volatile. There's going to be a big warm-up followed by a big cool-down around Thanksgiving, and then we're going to be watching snow in the western plains after Thanksgiving into the weekend. We might see our first flakes flying around this area on this colder air that's coming in. I wouldn't put much stock into it, but there is the chance for some of that to come through later this week and weekend.
Snodgrass says chances of snow late this week would be very minor for most of the state and can't say if temps will stay chilly for the start of December. Results are out from the American Farm Bureau Federation's annual survey of Thanksgiving meal costs and what consumers are paying on the average bill this year.
Are you still doing your Thanksgiving meal shopping? If so, you may be pleased to find
we're down a little bit from the prior year, 4.5% down from last year by our informal survey, which is gathered from 200-something volunteers in all 50 states going out and checking those prices at their local grocery store.
Based on the American Farm Bureau Federation's 2023 edition of its annual survey to determine the cost of a full Thanksgiving meal. Farm Bureau Executive Vice President Joby Young says for the centerpiece of the meal,
turkey's down a little bit. Avian influenza was hot and heavy last year, and we've moved through some of that, so those prices have fallen.
Yet Young cautions despite the year-over-year decline in total Thanksgiving meal cost, food inflation is still reflected in the 2023 survey.
It's still up 25% from 2019.
The annual Farm Bureau survey looks at the average cost of 20 Thanksgiving meal items for a holiday feast for 10 people. I'm Ron Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
Now, did you wait too long to thaw that Thanksgiving turkey as the meal is just hours away? Are you doomed? Gary Crawford has this report.
When it comes to cooking that Thanksgiving meal, my theme song always seems to be,
I'm late.
I have only hours before my guests arrive and that turkey isn't thawed yet, so I call the Ag Department's Meat and Poultry Hotline. Meredith Carruthers is one of the experts on the hotline. They do get desperate calls like mine saying, what can I do? That turkey's still hard as a rock and I'm on a deadline here.
You can actually cook the turkey from the frozen state in the oven. It's just going to take a little bit longer for that turkey to fully come to a safe internal temperature and be cooked and ready to eat.
About 1.5 times longer to get that internal temperature up to the 165 degrees needed to kill any bacteria in there. So instead of an approximate cooking time for my totally thawed 12-pounder of about 20 minutes a pound or 4 hours, the frozen bird would take about roughly 6 hours. Need more help with that dinner? Call the Meat and Poultry Hotline, 1-888-MP Hotline, and thank you, Meredith. You have saved Thanksgiving once again.
You're very welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Gary Crawford for the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
News time, 29 minutes after 7 o'clock on this Tuesday. News brought to you by Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton, and we stream to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Some of the hostages being held by the terrorists in Gaza may soon be released. Nothing official yet, but there is speculation of a pending agreement that could include a temporary pause in the fighting. During this busy Thanksgiving travel week, Transportation Secretary Buttigieg says Americans can expect plenty of delays at the airport and on the roads. Some 55 million Americans expected to travel at least 50 miles from home on this holiday week. Police in Custer County, Colorado say they know who they're looking for. The fatal shooting of 3 people following a property dispute among neighbors. A 4th person was shot, seriously wounded. 4 people wounded, a shooting at a start in the Dayton suburb of Beaver Creek, Ohio. Police say the gunman is dead, apparently a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now features down 50 points. More details, srnnews.com.
Time now for a look at sports. I'm Seth Lawrence with this report. All-State offensive lineman Noah Bass led a group of 5 Clinton Maroons football players to be selected Central Illinois All-Conference. The conference announced Monday. Bass was a unanimous selection as an offensive lineman and named second-team All-Conference as a defensive lineman. Running back Tristan Potts was also selected to first-team All-Conference, along with defensive back Dawson Graves, linebacker Ryan Stapleton, and defensive lineman Dawson Thayer. Graves was second-team All-Conference as a running back, Potts as a linebacker, and Thayer as a defensive lineman. Also earning second-team All-Conference was quarterback Mason Walker, wide receiver Colton Walker, and kicker Tyler Anderson. Honorable mention All-Conference from Clinton were offensive lineman Denzel Wheeler, defensive lineman Christian Hibbard, linebacker Logan Toms, and punter Jack Webb. Clinton went 6-4 this season with a playoff appearance for the first time since 2019. The Clinton Maroons are back on the hardwood tonight as they open the 2023-24 campaign at the Mount Pulaski Thanksgiving Tournament, taking on Buffalo Tri-City at 5 o'clock. The Maroons are coming off its best season in recent memory, and with a large group of its core back from last year, Clinton should be a force in the Central Illinois Conference this year. The Maroons return starters Mason Walker, Dawson Graves, Brooks Kluver, and Colton Walker from last year's team. In his second year, Hall of Famer Vic Binkley leads a Maroons team that will be looking for more depth this year, but will continue to rely on his staple 1-2-2 zone press. After the Bill Rucks Memorial Thanksgiving Tournament in Mount Pulaski this week, the Maroons open the home slate against Olympia next Tuesday night at Clinton High School. When Clinton hosts Maroa Forsyth on Friday, December 1st, it will be a significant home game for a couple of reasons. The Maroons will dedicate the new Clinton High School gym floor named Gene Vance Court. Additionally, it was the Trojans that upset the Maroons in a regional semifinal matchup last year at Clinton High School, ending Clinton's magical season much earlier than anticipated. Clinton has beefed up its schedule this season as well. On December 2nd, Clinton travels to the Edinburgh Ben Thielen Shootout and will take on Pleasant Plains. They'll host Eureka on Friday, December 8th. They'll meet Lexington at the Eureka College Shootout on December the 16th. And the Maroons return to the Monticello Holiday Hoopla Tournament December 26th through the 28th and host their New Year's Showdown at Clinton High School again on Saturday, January 6th. WHOW and its digital platforms will continue to cover select Clinton Maroons games throughout the season. Check out the schedule at DeWittDailyNews.com. The first Maroons broadcast of the season is tomorrow night when Clinton takes on Litchfield from the Mount Pulaski Thanksgiving Tournament. Coming off a 17-14 season, the Monticello Sages are hoping a balanced junior class can complement its 3 returning seniors from last year's team that lost in a regional championship to Prairie Central. Monticello basketball coach Kevin Roy has a problem a lot of coaches wish they had, a group of players that are making it difficult, in a good way, to decide who's going to be getting minutes this season.
You know, and you're exactly right. Gave some, and I won't say gave, the kids earned their opportunities last year, but, you know, I felt like I could have gone deeper. And, you know, as a coach, to me, it's about getting minutes, whether it's at the JV level or the varsity level. The kids have to continue to get minutes on the court during game time to continue to improve, as well as practice. And, you know, we never had that separation between players. I shifted people around a little bit last year, but not too much. But those sophomores who are now juniors, you know, they're making it difficult on me just because we have so many players who are capable. I think we got 9 juniors, and they're all capable of playing at the varsity level and contributing at some level in different ways. So, you know, it's going to be tough on me. And then we, of course, have Nolan Bennerkemper, who's so I feel like capable of contributing at the varsity level. So, you know, I wish there was some more separation, but yet at the same time, it's good that there's not, because they're all continuing to grow. They're all continuing to improve. I feel like they all got great experience last year and into the summer. It's tough on the coaching staff right now with the guys that we have to be able to separate and distinguish who's where and when they're going to be there. Practices are competitive, which is great for overall improvement, but man, it's tough right now.
The Sages return leading scorer Trey Welter and will look for seniors Raiden Colbert and Jack Widener to play bigger roles. Coach Roy likes what he's seen from all of them so far.
Trey's going to be leading us off defensively and handling the ball, so he'll carry a lot of the load, but he's capable of doing that, and I have a lot of expectations of him. So he's probably our best scorer that we have returning, and you know, we'll be looking for a lot of leadership from him. But being the point guard, you know, his leadership and building up his teammates and helping get them in scoring position and distributing the ball and staying the ball will come back to him, and you know, being able to understand the game situations and communicate that to guys on the floor will be huge. So we're excited about his leadership and what he brings back. You know, Jack Widener with his length and his size, he's pretty versatile as far as inside, outside. He probably prefers the outside more than he does the inside, but I like what he can do defensively. I love how he can see the passing lane. He can see, you know, he's the type of player that sees the pass ahead, and got a really good basketball IQ. With Raiden Colbert, you kind of mentioned he was a little inconsistent with his scoring last year, and we're hoping he can be more consistent this year. He's just a strong athlete who's extremely competitive, and we love how he gets after it. And really, those three seniors, they are a very, very tight-knit group. When they're in the gym, they're usually together, and when they're not in the gym, they're usually together. And you like to see that in your group of seniors that are that tight-knit on and off the court.
This year's junior class has a lot of potential, and as sophomores, Coach Roy had hoped they would have made more progress, and while that didn't happen last year, he points to the confidence a lot of them have gained in the last year, from the success several saw playing baseball in the spring to how much confidence they gained as football players this fall.
Absolutely. We love multi-sport athletes because they're the decision-making, the commitment, the work ethic, the teamwork, all those things. You can see them grow and mature on how they carry themselves on the court and how they execute and how they interact with their teammates. So absolutely, we love to see that, success on the football field and cross country, and we love to see that carry over into basketball and, of course, into baseball and track and all those sports. So, keeping the kids competitive, seeing them grow and mature from year to year with their decision making and how they see the game, it is huge. It's fun to see that, but they're definitely intertwined. I feel like we've had that here in Monticello for forever. I feel like whether it's golf or whatever, we've always had guys soccer come into basketball, and it does carry over. That expectation, they want to succeed and they expect to succeed. Guys like Eli Kraft and Ike Young, who played baseball last year, had great baseball seasons, and Ike came into football, had a great football, and right now he's looking really good at basketball. And Eli Kraft and Mason High and all those guys. So there's a lot of carryover, and it's fun to watch them. And I love it when we have those kids that, not all kids are, basketball first guys. Some are baseball first, some are football first, but we still need their commitment. And I look at guys like Joey Sprinkle, a great football guy, baseball guy, and, we couldn't have done what we did 2 years ago without Joey Sprinkle in a basketball uniform. So the athletics, there's so much to them, and they build character and a lot of teaching lessons there and a lot of carryover as well.
Monticello opens the 2023-24 basketball season tonight at Pleasant Plains. The Sages can be heard again this year on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Check out the full broadcast schedule at DeWittDailyNews.com. Dalton Banks had 15 points in Illinois State's 61-52 victory over Long Beach State Monday night in the opening round game of the Gulf Coast Showcase. Banks had 5 boards and 6 steals for the 3-1 Redbirds. Johnny Kinziger was 3 of 7 shooting to add 10 points. Messiah Thompson had 10 points and 4 assists for the Beach. Long Beach State also got 8 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 steals from Lucina Traore. A.J. George also had 8 points with 6 boards. Long Beach State was coming off a 94-86 victory over Michigan in its last game. Malawi Leons had 18 points, helping Bradley hold off Tulane 80-77 from the SoCal Challenge on Monday night. Leons had 4 steals for the Braves, who will take on either UTEP or Cal for the Surf Division title on Wednesday. Darius Hanna scored 14 points and added 6 rebounds. Duke Dean shot 4 of 12 from the floor and 4 for 4 from the free throw line, adding 13 points. The Green Wave were led by Jalen Forbes, who had 17 points and 2 steals. Kevin Cross had 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 steals, while Sion James had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals. Bam Adebayo scored 23 points and grabbed 11 rebounds, and the Miami Heat blew out the Chicago Bulls 118-100 Monday night, 2 nights after blowing a 21-point lead in the same building. Jimmy Butler had 16 against his former team. The Heat now have won 8 of their last 9 after a 1-4 start to the season. Miami nailed a season-high 17 of 35 three-point attempts from the field, despite sharpshooter Tyler Hero missing his 6th straight game with a right ankle sprain. For a fourth consecutive game, the Bulls faced a large deficit in front of their home fans, falling behind 12-2 less than 3 minutes in after Duncan Robinson had 2 early threes. Robinson scored 11 of his 22 in the first quarter and has hit at least one three-pointer in every game so far this season. Kobe White led the Bulls with a season-high 20, including 4 three-pointers. Nikola Vucevic scored 18, and DeMar DeRozan added 15. Zach LaVine was limited to 13 points on his season-low 9 shot attempts. Alex Caruso finished with 13 points and a block and a steal. For the defensive-minded Caruso, 6 straight games with double-digit scoring is the longest of his career. Rookie forward Jaime Jaquez Jr. had 19 points. Kevin Love scored 11 with 8 rebounds for a Heat bench unit that combined for 42 points compared to just 21 for the Bulls reserves. The Bulls begin a 4-game road trip against Oklahoma City on Wednesday night. Get sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Chance for scattered rain showers today, otherwise cloudy skies expected. Daytime highs approaching 44, winds out of the northwest 10 to 20 miles per hour. Overcast skies tonight, lows level off around 33. Partly cloudy skies tomorrow, highs level off around 42. Hear weather twice an hour or online anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Currently, it's 41.
From the Country Financial Studio, I'm Rita Frazier. This is the RFD Livestock Report. More today with David Newman, Senior Vice President, Market Growth, National Pork Board. David talks more about what Illinois producers should know about their checkoff at work.
Well, I think something really great about Illinois is our states are our biggest partners. They're the ground game. And so we do a lot of work with Illinois Pork, Jennifer Tyree. I'm going to be speaking at the Illinois pork producers at their annual convention in January and on this topic, on market demand. And so our states are critically important to what we do at the national checkoff. And we do a lot of partner programs with Illinois, as an example, all throughout the year, focused on retailers that are exclusively in Illinois, but also looking at retailers and consumers beyond the borders of Illinois. And I think the best way to put that is we got to fish where the fish are. And if you look at 80% of the population in the United States and 80%